Whether you're struggling to figure out how to start decluttering when you're overwhelmed, or if you've been decluttering for a while but are still feeling overwhelmed, then you're in the right place. To give you a peek into my world, I'm a bit of an overwhelmed personality type myself, so I understand the difficulty of relaxing and quieting your frantic mind while still trying to regain control of the parts of your life that you feel you're losing control over. So don't for 1 second think that you're alone with how you feel, because you're not. Clutter is a huge deal in most of our lives, and it can take a while to get on top of it, especially if you have no idea where to start. So before you lose motivation and give up hope, let's face those stressful and frantic feelings you have head on with these top tips to help you start decluttering, even if you're feeling overwhelmed by the whole idea. 1. Start in the place that will make the most difference. This is probably the best decluttering tip I have yet to talk about, until now. See, decluttering isn't just physical. It's emotional and it's mental too. And I'm not saying this to overwhelm you more, so I hope I haven't lost you yet. But the reason I'm bringing this up is to show you that you have options in regards to where you start and how you start your decluttering journey, which is really important to take note of. Let me explain why. Being overwhelmed makes it very difficult to declutter because it's not helpful at all to figuring out where to start, what to do, and how to do it. And this almost always leads to something I call the frozen zone. Not to be confused with Frozone, the Disney Pixar character from The Incredibles. The frozen zone is where, instead of doing something to move our decluttering journey forward, we do nothing, because we fear making things worse and making ourselves feel more overwhelmed. So to avoid the frozen zone, I found it best to start decluttering in the area where you know you'll see results and feel the benefits of what you're doing relatively quickly. This will help you feel more motivated and energized to carry on with decluttering despite your feelings of overwhelm. This might be your bedroom, the bathroom, that closet you hardly ever open, or it could be something on the emotional and mental side of things. Maybe you start with journaling, so you can work through your thoughts and feelings before considering letting go of anything physical. Basically, whatever is making you the most unhappy and will make the most immediate difference in your life is where you should start. 2. Don't confuse decluttering with organizing. Organizing is a great way to make your home or space efficient, but trying to organize clutter will end up wasting both time and money, because at that point, all you're really doing is placing a Band-Aid on a wound that really needs a few stitches. You're buying containers and closet organizers, buckets and baskets, all in an effort to make your clutter look pretty and presentable. But at the end of the day, it's still clutter. And it will remain clutter until you remove the Band-Aid, clean the wound, and stitch it up so nothing that is unwanted can get inside. When feeling overwhelmed, it's really easy to confuse decluttering with organizing because emotionally, all we want is to no longer feel overwhelmed. And the best way to no longer feel this way is to simply hide our clutter visually through the act of organizing. So that's exactly what we do. But we soon realize that the overwhelm we were hoping to eliminate through organizing is still there. It's just been restructured. And even though we may not see as much clutter scattered across our home, we still feel it and deal with it daily. So if you're feeling overwhelmed because of your clutter and you no longer want to feel that way, then you have to take the time necessary to sort and declutter first. Organizing comes second. Focus yourself. There are many different factors that can play into why you feel overwhelmed when decluttering. It could be because you don't know where to start and clutter keeps piling up. That's overwhelming. It could be that maybe you feel emotionally attached to a lot of what you own, and the thought of letting it go makes you feel like you'll be losing a piece of you. That's overwhelming. But for the vast majority, the feeling of overwhelm tends to stem from the simple fact that you're looking at all of the clutter in your life as one complete project, rather than a group of smaller, more emotionally manageable projects. Regardless if you're new to decluttering or have been decluttering for a while but are still feeling overwhelmed, you can't afford to think about everything you want to declutter all at once. All that's going to do is overwhelm you more than you already are and stop you from making progress completely. So the best thing you can do for the sake of your sanity and decluttering success is to focus yourself and your efforts on one thing at a time. Think about it like this. Would you attempt to decorate your entire house or apartment in one go? Probably not. You'd likely start and finish one room at a time before moving on to the next. You would look at every room in your house as individual projects, as opposed to the entire house as one big project. This is exactly how you should approach decluttering. Focus on one room, one category, or one emotion at a time before moving on to the next. 4. Stop second-guessing yourself. It can be really hard not to feel overwhelmed by the emotions that come with decluttering, especially when it comes to sentimental items. I mean, you know your situation better than anyone, so I have a question for you. When was the last time you were straight up second-guessing your decision to declutter something? Comment below the item, the emotions you are facing or are facing, and how you overcame or plan to overcome it. I'm curious about your experience, but also maybe someone else in this community is facing the same emotions, and this is an easy way to show them that they're not alone. Over the last few years of my journey, I've found that the best way to stop second-guessing yourself is learning how to make confident decisions. And for me, there are 4 ways to do this. 1. Test them against your values. Ask yourself, which of these options most honors the things that mean the most to me? In decluttering, if I donate this item or keep this item, will that decision help me live out my core values or prevent me from fully embracing them? 2. Trust your gut. Forget about all the what-ifs. If you're not at peace emotionally with your decision, it's probably not the right decision for you. 3. Have enough information. You don't need to know everything, just enough. Ask, have I used this in the last 6 to 12 months? Do I plan to use it in the next 6 to 12 months? If I lost it, would I buy a replacement? 4. Respect your doubts. There's a difference between valid concerns and using doubt to avoid change. So my encouragement to you, respect your valid doubts, but doubt the doubts that keep you stuck. 5. Realize that this is a positive thing. Decluttering is often overthought and overcomplicated, which makes it really easy to feel overwhelmed in the process. So consider thinking about it like this. Decluttering is simply taking items that don't belong in a space and putting them where they belong. Sometimes that means in your home, and sometimes it means it's gone from your home. You're allowed to keep whatever you want. It's your decision. I'm not trying to deprive you of all your stuff. What I am doing is challenging you to make a change, to let go so you can easily find and enjoy those things that matter most to you. I hope you found this conversation helpful to your decluttering journey. If you did, share this with someone in your inner circle that you know will find value in this as well. Keep growing, keep learning, and always stay true to you. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.